More fallout today from the shooting on the set of the movie Rust, with an LA judge ordering Alec Baldwin to face a civil trial over it. Remember, cinematographer Helena Hutchins died on set after a prop gun that Baldwin was holding went off. He says he didn't pull the trigger or know that it was loaded. A judge dismissed his manslaughter case back in 2024 after ruling prosecutors withheld evidence. Now, a staffer on set is suing Baldwin and the production company. He alleges that Baldwin acted with negligence, causing him emotional distress. Baldwin didn't immediately respond to our request for comment. The civil trial starts in October, and Danny Cevallos, who's covered every angle of this particular case, joins me now to talk more about this. So, Danny, break down these allegations that the staffer's bringing against Baldwin and the production company. Is there a lot on the line for Alec Baldwin here?
There was probably no greater critic of the criminal prosecution of Alec Baldwin than me. And I believe there was no chance that they would be able to prove that Alec Baldwin was criminally culpable beyond a reasonable doubt. It is an entirely different analysis when you're talking about civil negligence. In civil cases, they don't have to prove their case, plaintiffs, beyond a reasonable doubt, only by a preponderance of the evidence. So low is this, it's essentially 51%. It's essentially a coin flip, which is why so many civil cases settle before trial, because neither side likes the odds of a coin flip. And that's exactly what you have here. In a case that you would have had no prayer, I believe, against Alec Baldwin on the criminal side, this may be a case, but still, I think it's defensible for the same reasons that the criminal case was, because you have so many other people who did things wrong that you can foist that liability onto.
And we'll talk about that in a second, but just to make clear for our viewers, civil means some sort of financial penalty, right?
Exactly.
There's no chance of him going to jail or anything like that in a civil case, correct?
Zero chance. The only thing at issue here is dollars, and that's all.
Okay, so get into this defense. If you were defending Baldwin here, you mentioned the fact that there were a lot of people involved. What else would you do in a defense of him in a civil case like this?
Well, with negligence, it doesn't have to be intentional. It doesn't even have to, it just has to be that you violated some standard. You violated your duty of care to other people. And in this case, it would be essentially, you shouldn't go pointing guns, even if you don't think they're loaded. But as a defense attorney, I would say, he didn't believe it was a gun. He might as well have been, if this was a science fiction movie, it would have been a ray gun or a phaser. In other words, he thought it was a toy. So it's perfectly fine to point a toy at people, even if it's shaped like a gun, especially when you've been told by several different people who should know this is not a gun. It's cold. It's clean. You're good to go.
Okay. Danny Cevallos, thanks for that. We appreciate it.
We thank you for watching, and remember, stay updated on breaking news and top stories on the NBC News app or watch live on our YouTube channel.